Now, if you are covering college football and you are not talking about USF, North Texas, then you're not really covering college football. And I think that's kind of been a hard part for me to watch with some of the coverage of this sport is that there are good games, not just in the Power Four or even the Power Two, whatever you want to call them. The Bulls and the Mean Green are playing really good football right now, and USF is off to a tremendous start. Already a couple of upsets under their belts, and they are going to be a really fun team to watch in 2025, and they are going to make a strong push for the playoff. So you feel like they are going to be dangerous for North Texas. That being said, North Texas is a team that not a lot of people expected good things from. I think this was a team that had the potential. Eric Morris had an opportunity to get his team to play at a certain level, and right now they are playing that way. This is what makes this game so fun is that you have USF who we thought, okay, if they play at a certain level, if they are able to get Byrum Brown to play like he did 2 years ago, then you're feeling like this team has a good chance. And so far, Byrum Brown is delivering on that. 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns through the air, 282 yards on the ground with 3 scores. His passing attack, he's the leader of that passing attack, but his wide receivers have stepped up as well. It's kind of a two-headed approach, but you've also seen some flashes from other guys, but you need a little bit more depth maybe in that regard. That being said, Chaz Nimrod and Keyshawn Singleton have been phenomenal so far. Nimrod has 421 yards and 3 touchdowns. Keyshawn Singleton, 240 yards and 2 scores. This is an offense that has found its balance thanks to Byrum Brown, and it's a big reason why he leads the team in rushing as well. Now, Sam Franklin, Cartavius Norton, and Alvin Isaac have been really fun to part. Even if you put Nakai Davenport in, you have a good stable of rushers and running backs with Byrum Brown helping out as well. That is a tough thing to cover. That is a tough offense to stop. And when you're trying to take away the run, because at times, and actually, Byrum Brown leads the team in rushing yards, but he has the lowest average at 4.4. You have Franklin with 7.2, Norton 5.2, Isaac 6.2, Davenport 6.1. So these guys are picking up over half of the yardage needed for a first down every time they touch the ball. So that is tough to guard. And you throw in that explosive passing attack. Nimrod's averaging 22.2 yards per catch, Singleton 17.1. So that's a good balance for USF. And you're thinking that this is a team that's going to give you a lot of problems if you're North Texas. So defending that is going to be a challenge. Now, USF does have their hands full with North Texas as well. The nice thing is that their defense has really stepped up in the meantime. There's been some questions about, is this defense going to be able to play well for Todd Orlando? And so far, we've seen them play at a decent level. They're giving up just 22.4 points per game. And it's been a team that's shown that it can shut teams down at times. Now, there obviously have been some exceptions to that, but this is a Bulls defense that has a lot of big-time players that can step up in big ways, and North Texas has to find a way to navigate that. That's going to be a challenge. The linebackers kind of start things off. Jalen Schuler and Mac Harris have played to the level that we expected them to. We expected big things from them, and so far they've delivered. Schuler's 46 tackles lead the entire team. He also has 3.5 tackles for loss, 1 sack. Harris is second with 42 tackles. He has 4.5 tackles for loss, which leads the team. He also leads the team in sacks with 4. That is a big-time playmaker. He also has 3 forced fumbles and 1 interception. So if you're looking for a disruptive player, Mac Harris is the guy for USF. This secondary, though, deserves a lot of credit. It's been really fun to watch Deshaun Rucker and Taven Ward play to the level that we knew they were capable of playing, and throwing the ball against them might be a bit of a challenge for a North Texas team that has also shown it can be a handful. And it's also going to come down to their quarterback. Drew Mestemaker is off to a phenomenal start, and his story is well documented so far through this year, and he's been a really nice piece for this offense. There was some questions in the offseason about, would it be Mestemaker? Would it be Reese Poffenbarger? That was a big question. And so far, Mestemaker has taken the job and not looked back. 67.9% completion percentage, 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, has yet to throw an interception. That could be tested against this Bulls defense, but he is playing with a ton of confidence. And the nice thing is that he hasn't relied on one guy. Now, that could be problematic in clutch situations, but the distribution has been fairly impressive. Miles Coleman leads the team with 219 yards. He also leads the team with 23 receptions. Wyatt Young, 13 catches for 215 yards. He leads the team with 3 touchdowns. Cameron Dorner, Landon Sides, Caleb Hawkins has been a nice piece out of the backfield. Simeon Evans, Trey Williams. This offense is full of weapons, and that's a tough team to defend because you can't just focus in on one guy. You can't make a game plan for one player and think, okay, well, if we take him away, our chances of winning increase. That has been a tough team for or a tough thing for any team to do this year. The rushing attack has been better than we anticipated. This is an offense that we kind of expected to throw the ball a lot and have success through the air, and the rushing attack was going to pretty much determine how successful they actually could be. Mackenzie McGill, 63 carries for 318 yards. He's averaging 5 yards per carry with 4 touchdowns. That Caleb Hawkins we talked about before, 42 carries, 307 yards, and has 7 touchdowns. He's averaged 7.3 yards per carry, 17.1 yards per catch. So he is the definition of explosive so far this year, and that's been kind of what North Texas has relied on to move the ball down the field at times, has been those explosive plays, and they've gotten them from those playmakers. Now, the biggest question for this team coming into the year was the defense. They lost quite a few pieces on that defense, and there were some questions about whether or not this team was going to be able to replace them and play at a certain level. You need to play at that level to be able to beat USF. And so far, this defense, I think, has played better than people expected. You know, you brought in Trey Fields to potentially fill in one of those spots. He's been a good player. 40 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 interception. Shane Witter has been a nice revelation for them as well at linebacker. Leads the team with 48 tackles. The guy who's really stood out and a guy that I highlighted coming into the year, Ethan Weslowski, 31 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble. He has been a playmaker for this team for a while now, and he's continuing to do that in 2025. So you have guys that are flying around the field, behind them, in front of them, and that's what makes this team so fun. They're playing with a good energy, and winning at home is going to be obviously easier than playing USF on the road, but it's still going to be tough. Now, North Texas is a 1.5 point favorite, but I do think that the Bulls are going to win this game. I think that that's a much better team right now, and it'll be fun. I really hope this one turns into a back and forth shootout, a high scoring affair, and I think that this is going to be a really fun game regardless. But I do think USF is going to win. It's just not going to be as easy as maybe people might think.